So in this problem, we want to multiply two numbers by partial product, products method, and the standard algorithm. Standard algorithm just means the common method that we teach in the 3rd or 4th grade. All right, so let's take a look at how we use the partial products and also the standard algorithm to calculate 23 times 24. And so what we're going to do is, so we're going to write down 24 times 23, so that's for part A. I think I'm going to put maybe my answer right here so we can demonstrate them, because I'm also looking at part B. It says draw an array and subdivide the array in a natural method way so that the parts of the array corresponding to the steps in the partial products algorithm. So for the partial products method, I need to draw array. And in part C, it also asks us to indicate which parts of the array that you drew from part B correspond to the steps of the standard algorithm. You can use the same drawing, but it's probably going to be very messy because you have to highlight and what to label which part is for partial products, which parts are for the standard algorithm. So probably it's better to draw a different array. And so finally, we solved it by the expanded form, and we did a exact same type of homework problem in the section 4.6. So first, so when I do this, I'm gonna first solve this by using the partial products method, and then I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it in array. And then I'm going to solve it by the standard algorithm and go ahead and then demonstrate in the array. So I'm just going to put my answer here, 24 times 23. So when we do 24 times 23 and with the partial products method, so we multiply 3. This 3 literally means 3 ones. So we're going to do 3 times 4, which gives us 12. And then we're going to do 3 times 2, but remember this 2 doesn't mean 2, it means 20. So we're going to do 3 times 20, that gives us 60. And next we're going to multiply 2, and again this 2 means 20. 20 times 4, so that gives us 80. And finally we're going to multiply this 2 and that 2, and both of them mean 20, so we do 20 times 20, that gives us 400. So after we multiply all of these, and we're going to add them up, 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, that's 2. 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 8, 15, and carry 1, and 4 plus 1 gives us 5. So the answer is 552. Now we're going to show in this array, in this grid paper, and so notice we did 4 multiplications, 3 times 4, 3 times 20, 20 times 4, and 20 times 20. We want to show in this drawing. And so what we do is, and notice when we do multiplication, we literally break down into 3 ones, 2 tens, 2 tens, and 4 ones. So that's what we're going to do in the drawing. So we're going to split. Let's make, because we have exactly 24 rows here, so I'm probably just going to keep this as, so that's 20. So if I label that, that is, so when I break down 24, so this is 20, and then plus 4 individual rows. 23, we're going to make that columns. So I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I also have 24 here, so I just need 23. So I'm going to count from here 1 all the way to 20. So that's going to be up here. So that's 20 columns. And for that 3 ones, I'm going to just label 3 columns here. And again, the last column is not really needed. So I'm going to stop right here. And next, we're going to divide them into different parts. So when we do multiplication in partial products and also standard algorithm, So in partial products, we do 4 steps. So 3 times 4, which means 3 rows. And first of all, because notice we already divide the shape into rows and columns. I'm going to use the red color here. So that's the dividing line, the vertical line, dividing the columns by tens and 2 tens and 3 individual ones. And we're going to divide from the separate tens and ones. So like that. Again, the last it stops right here. Okay, so next we're going to, and as you can see, we have these 4 different sections, and for these different regions, so I'm going to mark them. For example, 3 columns, 4 rows. So it's going to be right here, 3 times 4. So you can just label them like this. Or you can use a color. So for example, you could use, I said pink region. So I'm going to highlight this, color this in pink. So that is for that step right here. Now 3 column and 20 rows. So I'm going to use the green region to demonstrate 3 columns and 20 rows. Maybe I should label this first, 3 times 20. So the green region corresponds to the second step, 3 times 20. And next we are going to, we have 20 times 4, and notice that is this region here. So I'm going to use a different color here, blue color. This region demonstrates the third operation we did, which is 20 times 4, 20 columns, 4 rows. And finally, the big white piece right here, that is exactly 20 rows and 20 columns. So as you can see, when we add all these 4 regions together, that is exactly 24 times 23. So that means 24 times 23 does equal those 4 different regions, these 4 multiplications adding up. And so next we're going to use the standard. So this is the partial products method. And now we're going to do the common method or the standard algorithm. So in the standard algorithm, when we do 24 times 23, we don't really we still have to multiply them separately. Say what is 3 times 4? That's 12. But we're not going to write down 12. We're only going to write down 2, which is 2 ones. And that one, we're going to put it somewhere. And then we're going to multiply 2 and 3 to get 6, which means 6 10. And there's 1 10 here. Together, it's 7 tens. And so that's these first two operations that we did in partial products are combined into one step in standard algorithm. Now let's multiply this 2, and again this 2, because this 2 means 20, so we have to put a 0 down there, and then we're going to do 2 times 4, that gives us 8, and then 2 times 2, that gives us a 4. So now we're going to combine them to get add them together to also get the same answer, 552. So again, in partial products, we do these 2 steps, but in standard algorithm, we combine them into one step. So we only have 2 steps and then adding those 2 numbers, 2 multiplications. So when we are, I notice that, so you could use another grid paper, or I'm going to do a different way, which is much easier. So we could just draw an array. It doesn't have to be big. And then we separate them as, so this time I'm going to make, let's say, that's 23 rows, and then 24 columns. So we're going to separate them to, oh, well, actually we have to do the other way around, because notice that the way we multiply, so we kept 24. We didn't split 24. So what we did, for example, 72 comes from 24 times 3. So that's how we got 72. And then 480 comes from 24 times 20. Again, this 2 means 20. So notice 24 is not broken down. So I'm going to keep 24. But we actually broken down 23. So I'm going to have to break down 23 as 20. So that's 20. And there's 3 rows. So when we divide, we're only going to divide here 23. And notice the top region, that is 20 times 24, 20 rows, 24 columns. I didn't really divide 20 rows and 20 columns like in the grade paper. You could just do this. And then here it's 3 rows and 24 columns. And notice that I'm going to highlight this in blue. The blue region corresponds to 24 times 3, or 3 times 24. And the white part is 20 times 24 right here. So here we use, this is the drawing for the standard algorithm. So we only have 2 separate parts, but for partial products, we have 4 different separate parts because we do 4 multiplications separately. So finally, we want to use, so in the last question, we want to use the expanded form and the distributive property to solve the solve for the product. So we don't want you to use partial products or the standard algorithm. Expanded form is really similar to partial products, but we just don't write the answer vertically like we do for partial products. So what we do is we still split 23 as 20 plus 3, and we're going to split 24 as 20 plus 4. And then we're going to use the distributive property. So first we distribute 20 to what's in the parentheses. So ignore this 3 here. So we get, oh, well, actually I did the other way. I think I did the other way around. So you could do that. You could distribute 20 to 20, 20 to 4, and then distribute 3 to 20 and 3 to 4. Or you could distribute the other way. So I think what I distributed, I started from the second pair of parentheses, distribute 20 to the numbers inside the first pair of parentheses. So we got 20 plus 3 times 20. And then we distribute 4 to both of them, so 20 plus 3 times 4. And to do that, we distribute 20 to 20, 20 to 3, and 4 to 20, 4 to 3. If you could skip this step and go ahead and do 20 times 20, 20 times 3, 4 times 20, and 4 times 3 to get this step. And then we're going to work out these 4 products. And notice each of these corresponds to a step we did in partial products here. So we have 400 plus 60 plus 80 plus 12, and they add up to 552. So this is called the expanded form, and we use the partial products to do, the distributive property to do it.